Marcus Aurelius and Stoicism, a guide to overcoming worry. Well, worry, anxiety, and stress are pervasive aspects of human existence indeed. Children are worried about their first day at school. Many of them cried because of having too many things to cope with. Students are worried about grades and peer pressure. Adults feel stressed because of the salary, workload, or simply their colleague. Old people might be afraid of the death. They want to enjoy this life longer. From the ancient philosophers to modern-day self-help gurus, countless individuals have sought ways to alleviate the burden of these negative emotions. One of the most profound and enduring philosophies that addresses these concerns is Stoicism, a school of thought that emerged in ancient Greece and was championed by prominent figures such as Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. In this video, we will delve deeply into the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers and the Emperor of Rome from 161 to 180 AD. We will explore his teachings on how to stop worrying, drawing insights from his seminal work, Meditation, and the broader Stoic tradition. To comprehend Marcus Aurelius's approach to overcoming worry, one must first grasp the core tenets of Stoicism. Stoicism, as a philosophy, emerged in Athens during the Hellenistic period and was developed by thinkers like Zeno of Citium. His fundamental principles offer valuable insights into the human condition and provide a blueprint for living a virtuous and tranquil life. At the heart of Stoicism is the belief that virtue, specifically moral excellence, is the highest good and the ultimate goal of human life. Virtue encompasses qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. According to Stoics, everything else, wealth, health, reputation, are considered indifferent in comparison to virtue. This perspective encourages individuals to focus their efforts on developing their moral character rather than pursuing external, fleeting rewards. Stoicism emphasizes the dichotomy of control, dividing the world into things that are within our control, our thoughts, judgments, desires, and things that are beyond our control, external events, other people's actions. Stoics advocate for directing our attention and efforts toward what is within our control and accepting with equanimity what lies beyond it. This philosophy teaches us that our inner disposition and reactions to external events are where we have the most agency. Stoicism encourages individuals to accept the natural order of the universe. Often referred to as fate or destiny, this acceptance does not imply resignation, but rather a rational acknowledgement of the inevitability of certain events and the impermanence of life. By embracing the transitory nature of existence, Stoics aim to reduce suffering caused by resisting the inevitable. Self-awareness and introspection are integral to Stoicism. Practitioners are urged to regularly examine their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. This self-examination fosters mindfulness, enabling individuals to identify irrational beliefs and destructive passions. By recognizing these aspects of themselves, Stoics can work towards their purification and alignment with virtuous principles. Stoicism identifies 4 cardinal virtues that encompass all aspects of moral excellence. Wisdom, the ability to make sound judgments and act in accordance with reason. Courage, the ability to face adversity and fear with bravery and resilience. Justice, the practice of treating others fairly and in accordance with their due. Temperance, the practice of self-control and moderation in desires and appetites. Stoicism also encourages individuals to live in the present moment, appreciating and engaging fully with their current circumstances. Dwelling on past regrets or anxiously anticipating the future is seen as counterproductive to living a tranquil life. With these foundational principles in mind, we can now explore Marcus Aurelius' thoughts on how to stop worrying and apply Stoic wisdom to contemporary challenges. Here are 5 key Stoic principles that Marcus Aurelius advocated to help individuals worry less. 1. acceptance of what cannot be changed and amor fati. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of accepting the things we cannot control and acceptance of fate, or amor fati in Latin. Firstly, acceptance of what cannot be changed. Bear in mind that there are aspects of life, events, and circumstances that are beyond our control. It encourages us to come to terms with or accept these things as they are, without attempting to alter or resist them. It means recognizing the limits of our power and acknowledging that some things simply cannot be changed, no matter how much we might wish otherwise. Secondly, amor fati, Latin for love of fate. Amor fati is a Stoic concept that goes beyond mere acceptance. It suggests not only accepting the unchangeable, but also embracing it with love and enthusiasm. Instead of merely resigning oneself to fate, amor fati encourages you to find value and purpose in whatever life presents, even if it's not what they initially desired or expected. It's about seeing the beauty and opportunity in every situation, even those that seem adverse or challenging. Let me give you one example. Imagine you are a student preparing for an important exam, and despite your best efforts, you fall ill a few days before the test. Your illness prevents you from studying or performing at your best. In this situation, acceptance of what cannot be changed means you acknowledge that falling ill is beyond your control. You realize that you can't change the fact that you're sick, and trying to resist or stress over your illness won't improve your condition or your chances in the exam. Amor fati, love of fate, means taking it a step further. You not only accept your illness, but also embrace it as an opportunity to practice amor fati. Instead of lamenting your misfortune, you choose to see this as a chance to demonstrate resilience and adaptability. You adjust your expectations for the exam, accept that you may not perform at your best, but remain committed to doing your utmost given the circumstances. So, when you combine these two concepts, acceptance of what cannot be changed, amor fati, encourages individuals to not only acknowledge the limits of their control, but also to love and fully embrace the circumstances and events that are beyond their control, finding meaning and contentment in them, rather than resisting or resenting them. This Stoic principle can lead to greater peace of mind and resilience in the face of life's uncertainties, as it frees one from the constant turmoil of trying to manipulate or fight against external forces. 2. Focus on the present moment, mindfulness. More than 20 times, Marcus Aurelius references the present and the present moment in his meditations. We see it frequently in Seneca and Epictetus as well. Each time they're saying, don't worry about the past, don't let anxiety about the future cripple you, embrace what is in front of you right now, be here now, they're saying. Don't wish for things to be a certain way, wish them to be as they are. Don't be somewhere else, be here and be here well. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, remind yourself that it is not the future or what has passed that afflicts you, but always the present. Stoic mindfulness is really about seeing what is up to you in any given situation, focusing on doing that well and on doing the act with kindness towards others. Instead of fearing about the worst possible outcome about the future, mindfulness means concentrating on your present and making the most of it. So if you are worried about your partner leaving you, being mindful about it will make you aware about the problems you are facing with your partner so that you can work towards solving them and hopefully avoid the worst outcome. While worrying leads you to fear and panic, with mindfulness, you are more likely to get into the zone or flow so that you can complete your work more efficiently. And as you have a greater sense of well-being, you will be less stressed. Mindfulness might even make you appreciate your partner and the relationship you both share. You can start being mindful by being conscious about your eating habits, by going for a walk, by avoiding multitasking at your work, or by meditating. Start with about 5 to 10 minutes per day and work your way up to about 20 minutes or longer. The core idea behind mindfulness is to provide your mind with respite from the constant sensory stimulation inherent in your daily activities, allowing it to naturally settle down. Particularly now, in 2023, our situation is one of extreme uncertainty after 3 years of COVID-19. We don't know what will happen, how long it will last, or what things will be like when it's over. One thing we do know, however, is that worrying about it won't change the outcome, and right now, much of the personal time that used to be part of our daily routines, commutes, time alone at home, going to the store, just is not available. This means it's extra important to practice mindfulness to recharge. You can decide to set time aside each day to practice mindful activities. Mornings, especially before the household stirs awake, offer a serene opportunity to anchor yourself in the present moment. Morning mindfulness can be instrumental in shaping the overall ambience of your day. You may choose from a range of mindfulness activities that resonate with you, whether it's deep breathing exercises, meditation sessions, or physical workout. The key is to select practices that personally align with your needs and preferences. You can also practice mindfulness as a family. Designating time to practice mindful activities as a family will help everyone feel less anxious. It could be a daily family yoga session or a quiet walk in the woods as a group, or asking everyone to mention one good thing they heard or saw that day over dinner. Practicing mindfulness helps bring us back to the present and keeps us grounded. Self-examination is also a hallmark of Stoicism, and Marcus Aurelius underscores its importance in meditations. By regularly reflecting on our thoughts, actions, and values, we can gain insight into the root causes of our worries and anxieties. This self-awareness allows us to make conscious choices to align our behavior with Stoic virtues and principles. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Cultivating mindfulness and self-awareness empowers us to identify irrational fears and unproductive thought patterns, enabling us to replace them with rational and constructive thinking. 3. Cultivate inner virtue. Stoicism places a significant emphasis on the cultivation of moral character and inner virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. According to Marcus Aurelius, the development of these virtues empowers individuals to enhance their resilience and effectively navigate life's challenges without yielding to excessive worry or emotional turmoil. Sarah was a person who had always struggled with a fear of public speaking. Even the thought of standing in front of a crowd made her anxious and worried. However, she recognized that her fear was holding her back both personally and professionally. She decided to embark on a journey to develop the inner virtue of courage. To begin, Sarah enrolled in a public speaking course, which was a daunting prospect for her. Each week, she faced her fear head on as she practiced speaking in front of the class. She stumbled, experienced nervousness, and even had moments of self-doubt. However, she persisted, recognizing that courage was not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. Over time, Sarah noticed a transformation within herself. Her courage grew as she faced her fear repeatedly. She began volunteering for speaking opportunities at work and in her community. With each experience, her worry and anxiety diminished, and her confidence increased. Through her journey of developing the inner virtue of courage, Sarah not only conquered her fear of public speaking, but also found newfound self-assurance in other areas of her life. She realized that by cultivating this virtue, she could tackle challenges with greater resilience and face uncertainties with a more positive outlook. In this example, Sarah's pursuit of courage as an inner virtue illustrates how intentionally developing virtues can lead to personal growth and reduced worry in the face of specific fears and challenges. 4. Recognize the transience of life. A central theme in the writings of Marcus Aurelius revolves around embracing the impermanence of life. He frequently underscores the fleeting nature of everything, both power, health, and even life itself. Through this acknowledgement of life's transitory essence, he inspires individuals to assign lesser significance to external circumstances and instead prioritize the development of their inner character. In one of his poignant reflections, Marcus Aurelius advises, "Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now, take what's left and live it properly." This perspective encourages us to contemplate our concerns within the broader context of our limited time on earth. By recognizing that many of our worries are connected to temporary matters, we can begin to release their grip on our minds and discover serenity amidst life's uncertainty. Mary, a young woman in her 30s, had always been a diligent planner and had meticulously mapped out her life. She had a successful career, a loving partner, and dreams of building a family and achieving financial stability. She had carefully planned each step, setting specific goals for her career and personal life. However, life had other plans for Mary. In her early 30s, she was diagnosed with a chronic health condition that significantly impacted her energy levels and her ability to work as she had in the past. This diagnosis came as a shock and forced Sarah to confront the impermanence of her carefully laid out plans. Initially, Mary resisted the reality of her situation and felt overwhelmed by fear and frustration. But as she delved into Stoic philosophy and the concept of embracing life's impermanence, she began to shift her perspective. Mary realized that in her pursuit of a predetermined life path, she had neglected to fully appreciate the present moment and cherish the experiences and relationships she already had. She had taken her health and energy for granted, assuming they would always be there. Embracing the impermanence of life, Mary decided to focus on what she could control, her attitude and her response to her health condition. She redirected her energy toward maintaining a positive outlook, making the most of her good days, and deepening her connections with loved ones. She let go of rigid career goals and timelines, choosing instead to embrace a more flexible and adaptable approach to her professional life. Through this process, Mary found a newfound sense of gratitude for the simple joys of life and a deeper connection with the people who mattered most to her. While her health condition remained a challenge, she learned to appreciate the moments of wellness and love that she still had. In embracing the impermanence of her health and her life plans, she discovered a greater sense of peace and fulfillment in the present moment. 5. Cultivate gratitude. The theme of gratitude is a consistent thread in Marcus Aurelius's writings. He urges us to recognize and value the simple joys of life, along with the individuals who bring positivity into our lives. By concentrating on our existing blessings rather than dwelling on our deficiencies, we can alleviate many of the sources of anxiety and dissatisfaction. In his words, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This perspective encourages us to cultivate gratitude by reflecting on the invaluable gift of life itself. It prompts us to appreciate the present moment and all that it encompasses. Practicing gratitude has the power to redirect our attention away from anxieties about the future or regrets about the past. Instead, it grounds us in the here and now, fostering mental well-being and contentment. Imagine that you, a woman in your mid-30s, had a demanding job, a busy schedule, and often found herself feeling stressed and overwhelmed. You were constantly preoccupied with the pressures of your career, financial responsibilities, and various obligations. This chronic state of worry was taking toll on your mental and emotional well-being. Inspired by the idea of appreciating life's simple pleasures and focusing on what you had, you decided to incorporate gratitude into your daily routine. Every morning as you woke up, you would take a few moments to reflect on the precious privilege of being alive. You would consciously think about the ability to breathe, to think, to savor a warm cup of coffee, and to enjoy the love of your family and friends. Initially, this practice felt somewhat forced, but as you persisted, you noticed significant changes in your outlook. You became less preoccupied with future worries and past regrets and more attuned to the beauty of the present moment. You started expressing gratitude to the people in your life for their support and kindness, deepening your relationships. Over time, your chronic worry began to diminish, you found yourself more content, less anxious, and better equipped to handle the challenges that came your way. Gratitude became a cornerstone of your daily life, helping you focus on the positives and bring a newfound sense of peace. So what had you learned from this experience? Honestly, your journey illustrates how the practice of cultivating gratitude, inspired by Stoic principles, can lead to a significant reduction in worry and an enhanced appreciation for life's simple pleasures and relationships. So, why don't all of us practice the gratitude every single day and see how wonderful our life will become? While Stoicism offers valuable insights into overcoming worry and living a virtuous life, it is not without its challenges and criticism. Emotional suppression. Critics argue that Stoicism may encourage emotional suppression, as practitioners are urged to maintain inner tranquility in the face of adversity. This criticism suggests that suppressing emotions can lead to psychological and emotional issues in the long run. Lack of emotional engagement. Some argue that Stoicism's emphasis on indifference to external events may lead to apathy or a lack of emotional engagement with important issues such as social justice or environmental concern. Unrealistic expectations. Critics contend that Stoicism's call for accepting the unchangeable may be unrealistic in certain situations. There are instances where individuals should actively seek change or advocate for social justice rather than passively accepting the status quo. Stoicism as privilege. Critics also suggest that Stoicism may be easier to practice for those in positions of privilege where daily survival is not a pressing concern. The ability to focus on virtue and personal growth may be a luxury unavailable to those facing extreme hardship. Ethical complexity. Stoicism's ethical framework, while influential, may not address the full complexity of modern ethical dilemmas. Some argue that its emphasis on individual virtue could be expanded to include more comprehensive ethical theories. It is important to acknowledge these criticisms and engage in thoughtful reflection. When applying Stoic principles to contemporary life, Stoicism should be seen as a tool for personal growth and inner resilience, rather than a one-size-fits-all solution to life's challenges. In conclusion, Marcus Aurelius has left a lasting legacy with his teachings on how to stop worrying and achieve inner tranquility. His wisdom, recorded in Meditations, continues to inspire individuals seeking a path to a more balanced and virtuous life. However, it is essential to recognize that Stoicism is not a panacea, and its application may require adaptation to suit individual circumstances and ethical consideration. It should be viewed as a complementary philosophy that can be integrated with other ethical frameworks and therapeutic approaches to address the unique challenges of the modern world.